Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Hypergamous Journey. My name is Denise. At this channel, we give dating advice for women who are 55 and older. I speak from my real life experiences dating hypergamously. I have an update. Well, maybe not an update. I didn't do a video on this. It's just lunch. Found me a match and we are going to lunch on June 4th. We are going to an Italian restaurant. And I knew this man 20 years ago. I was working with a nonprofit organization, and the executive director / founder is an ordained minister. And this gentleman that I'll be going on a date with is also an ordained minister and a college professor of religion and philosophy with a very prestigious university here in Atlanta. But he doesn't remember me. At the time, I was a secretary, administrative assistant, and didn't have much contact with him. He knew me through the executive director. Like if she instructed me to do something, then I would, and concerning him, then I would do it. So, and it's been over 20 years. I've cut my hair very short, so he just probably doesn't even recognize me. And if my hair were longer and I wore it the same way I was wearing it, he probably still wouldn't remember me. But I remember him. So we're going on a date June 4th to an Italian restaurant. And because I know him, I was able to do some background research on him, and he is a hypergamous man. All of the dates or matches that I have had with It's Just Lunch, all of the men have been hypergamous, or hypergamous men, or hypergamy men. So one's that, anyway, I'm not going to get technical about an adjective versus a noun and all that stuff. But anyway, they have been hypergamy men or hypergamous men. So this is good. And it's the main reason why I decided to invest in a matchmaker, because I don't meet hypergamous men, hypergamy men in my day-to-day life. But I am working on myself so that I can receive them and be comfortable with them when I do go on dates with them. So I'm excited about meeting him again, and I've decided not to mention my previous employer, the executive director of this nonprofit, because my spirit is telling me to. And also, she didn't have the best relationship with her colleagues. Partly her masculine energy and partly them and their sexism. Yeah, so that's what I assumed, and I don't want to bias or taint our date with possibly any negative feelings that he might have about her, and him unknowingly transferring those feelings to me, unknowingly having, I think they call this bias, where in his mind, birds of a feather flock together, and that I might be the same kind of woman that she is or was back then. And I was that woman back then when I was associating with her, but I haven't seen or associated with this executive director, I think, in about 10 years. Time passes so quickly, or almost 10 years. So I've decided to just be mum about it. And that's the best advice I can give any mature woman, or any woman, period, who is dating. Don't talk so much. He doesn't have to know that I had a professional relationship with this person and a personal one. We were very good friends as well, but he doesn't have to know that. At least not in the beginning. I'm learning in the beginning of dating that we don't have to spill the beans and tell everything, because there's no guarantee that the person will even be in our lives in the next week. That's how it is, you know? So mom is the word, ladies. Mom is the word. Like in the legal profession, if you've ever had an attorney, I used to work as a legal secretary for like 30 years. They always told the client at the deposition, their client, only answer the question. So that's what I use when I go on dates. I just answer the question. And a very go-to phrase that I use is when they say, so tell me about yourself. I stick to the very broad. Well, I grew up in New York City. I have a sister and a brother, or however many siblings I have. I tell them that. I tell them my mom is from North Carolina. I have family there. I tell them, you know, I'll tell them like how long I've been in the Atlanta area. But I just keep it very vague, very vague. And at this point, there is even any point in telling a person your last name. Because like I said, next week, they may not even be talking to you. So anyway, ladies, mom is the word. Talk to only answer the question and then throw it back at them and say, well, what about you? Where did you grow up? How many siblings do you have? So the questions that they ask you, throw it back at them. And if you're I heard this from, I think, Michaela Pink. She said, if you're talking longer than 30 seconds, you're talking too much. And I think that's too long. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I say if you're talking longer than 10 seconds, that's too much. 30 seconds is a long time. That's like half a minute. That's way too much. So my advice is 10 seconds or less. When he asks you a question, answer it in 10 seconds, then throw the question back at him and encourage him to talk for 30 seconds or a minute or as long as you can. And I've done it. It's possible. It's possible. And it doesn't sound like an interrogation either. It's very organic. It's very natural. And I show, delighted attention. Just delighted attention. It's like, really? Wow. How was that? And then I might interject. Well, you know, I was just thinking maybe it was this way. What do you think? That kind of thing. So, ladies, talk 10 seconds or less and let him do all the talking. Let him take up all of the date time talking about himself, and make sure that you are, as my mother would say, putting 2 and 2 together to come up with 4 and not 5. That 5th thing is what we want it to be. But 2 and 2 equals 1, 2, 3, 4, and not 5. All right. Like, subscribe, share, and all that other good stuff. And don't forget those journals on Amazon. See you in the next video. Bye.